Shifter works. Cables are in. It's through the firewall. It's Saturday, quiet at the shop, no one's here. I'm gonna take this opportunity to work on my own car. Not this one, this one. This is my 1994 Acura Integra. It's a little dirty, but whatever. It is an RS. I was looking for this car because it has no roof. Exactly what I was looking for. It is bare bone basics, no frills, no ABS, which I don't want anyway. And it's a clean chassis. It was a good deal. And the plan is 4-wheel drive, B-Series turbo, and I got all these parts already. These are the parts that I collected in the past couple months. That is a CRV transmission, transfer case there, the viscous coupler, some axles, the rear diff mount, rear control arms. I am also converting to 5-lug, which will take the Type R brakes, and so it's a little larger brakes. This is originally 4-lug, because if you're gonna go fast, you're gonna need some brakes, right? Just gotta install them. To start projects, I usually like to take everything and know everything about the car. I want to put everything as much as stock as possible. I hate the fact that other people have messed with it and did things to it. So before I even start modifying the car, I'm going to turn actually the car back to stock. One of the things that I did notice when I first bought the car is a lot of the interior panels were very loose. Some of the clips were missing, some of them were stripped. The panels were not on very well. And one of my biggest pet peeves is a rattly car. So panels, interiors, and stuff like that. So, you know what? I'm gonna start over. My good friend Tony stripped the interior out for me. So now I know somebody added sound deadening, which is kind of shitty because an RS had limited sound deadening and it was light because of that. But you can see somebody added all that stuff inside. I'm not taking this out because this is gonna take me 40 years to get out. You hear that? Damn. But I'm gonna take some of the floor stuff out because that's a little easier to scrape. Oh, by the way, check out the wing. This and this. See that? I hate these things. I don't know what this is. I don't know who installed it, and I don't know when it's gonna catch fire. I'm gonna take that out. If you notice, there's only 2 pedals in here. This is the first RS I've ever seen automatic. Well, let's get started. I don't want it to sit here forever and just never get done.
You wanna talk some shit?
So we got into the thick of it, and this is what it is. Some sort of alarm, I think. Yeah, because I can see the brain right there. These right here are ignition wires. This is why I want to do this, because tapping into ignition wires like that, there's probably like a starter kill in here that's cut. I don't want to deal with any of that later. Technically, the dash doesn't have to come out, you know, to undo this stuff, because when they put this in, they didn't take the dash out. So you could probably get it all out. Because it's an all-wheel drive conversion, and the way the shift cables go through, I wanted to do something really clean. The only good way to do that is to take the dash out. That's it. Look at all that. All this stuff. I don't know what it's. It's definitely an alarm. It's attached everywhere in the damn thing. I hate that. Come on. Get out of there. I don't want to break it. I gotta bend this clip. I know. Ah, there it is. Stupid clip. Oh, I need it. Ah! That should be it. I think there's a connection in the center somewhere. Get out of here. Oh, somebody already disconnected the airbag. Look at that. I didn't even do that. That's it. Ta-da! That is cut nice enough to use these adapters so he didn't cut up the stock harness too bad. I'm gonna keep going. The idea is here, the new shifter is gonna sit here. Let me show you the shifter. So this is the new shifter and it's gonna sit right here. On a regular B series that is not all-wheel drive, it has a shifter linkage which dips below the bottom of the car and then it goes to the transmission. But this being an all-wheel drive, it uses cables. There's really not a real good way to go underneath and come back around. So the idea was to remove the heater core and go through the lines where the heater core was. In Southern California, heat's really not that important. And to get the shifter out, it's super hard to see right through here. And then it shifts here. See the cables? So gotta get the heater core out, to get the old shifter out, run the cables, mount the shifter, fix the wires, put back the dash. Easy. So this is the heater core. Well, it's actually right here. And this is the part that was sticking out in the firewall that you couldn't really see. So now that the new cables are gonna go replace where that was. I'm gonna take this out. The cables, I don't know, route through here, route underneath here, and out somehow. The heater core is out. Now you can kind of see where, yeah, see that? That's where the hole was. So now what's gonna happen is the shifter cables are gonna come out through here instead of the heater core. That's the whole housing. You have to take apart all that to get that out. Oh shit. What did it? All right, that side is all finished. Back together, ready to go. All plugged in. The heater core is out. Now there is a clear path right there for the shifter cables. So the next thing that I'm gonna do, remove all the old alarm stuff and change out the pedals, remove the automatic computer, and then hopefully in a few hours I'll start putting back the dashboard. Like I said before, it's not hard, it's just tedious work. It's the little things, right? If you don't do it now, you're just gonna have a crappy car later. So fortunately, this is the only wire that they cut. This is the starter signal wire. This is actually the one that makes your starter, you know, crank over. So it's kind of important. That's how they did the starter kill thing. So it's kind of important not to rig it back together. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some new wire, solder it all together. I'm not gonna have a problem later with the starter not working and then realize that my little tape and butt connector didn't work, so. Tape is fine. I mean, a lot of people use shrink tubing, but I never cut at the same spots. You see that? There was a break here, so I cut it a little bit further back. Like, I'm definitely not gonna solder there. I'm gonna cut this little back here and solder from this over here. So there's no chance of like a little piece of wire poking out. I like to do it like as soon as possible when the solder is still a little warm. Put the tape on it, it kind of melts the tape into there. Why? I think it's a little tighter than that. See that? No more weird alarm wires. Finished. The pedals out. This is the original pedal. It's automatic, so it's got the big brake pedal here, and it's a little different, right? You can see the angles are a little different on the pedals. The throttle cable bracket is different. This right here is in a different spot, but this we can make work. This is the brake light switch. So I gotta get that, move it over here, and then I can install this. There's a separate pedal for the clutch. That's the clutch pedal. This is the clutch master cylinder, and this one is from an S2000. It's a little different because the bore size is a little different, hence we need this little spacer adapter thing here. This one, the reservoir is built in. Super easy to install. The old one, the factory has this plate that comes out, and simply put this one in like so, and then this gets installed on these two right there and one on top. The guy I bought it from even gave me hardware, so I don't have to look for him. Dash is back in. I'm not putting the steering wheel back on because I have a new one coming. So pedals are in. The next order of business is going to be the shifter. I gotta make a new mount, get the old shifter out, run the cables through the firewall, and then start on suspension and actually removing the old transmission. And shifter, I made a little quick adapter, made a little pedestal, 2x3 aluminum stock, welded onto an 1/8 inch plate. So it uses the factory holes. I'm gonna clean this up a little bit, put some foam tape around here, so squish it down so I don't get a whole bunch of air and all that stuff. Big mess, but it's done. The shifter is in. I kind of mocked up the center console. I got a factory radio delete. I'm gonna use a Bluetooth receiver. I'm not gonna use a radio. Euro Type R e-brake. So I got one off eBay, off a used Type R. Carpet tape right there, so it doesn't look so bad, so it doesn't look so white inside there, because this is how it's staying. I'm not making any trim. Kind of got a little overzealous cutting here, but didn't really need to make it that big. Shifter works. Cables are in. It's through the firewall. Let me show you why the dash had to come out. See that? It's coming right through where the heater hose was. I have a rubber grommet that goes in there. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna do is put the carpet back in. But before I can do that, I gotta dye it because it's old, disgusting, and it's gray. And I hate the way it looks. I'm not buying another carpet because they're like 400 bucks. But I think that's the end of the night. It is like 10 o'clock and I'm tired. So next time I'm gonna install the carpet, maybe we'll have an interior back in. Yes. No, for real, stop playing, dude. Yeah, it's dying. I'm gonna have this Integra running before you can finish this thing. But is it really dying? Like even if I put Core 15 in there? Nah, you gotta start over. No, stop playing it. I'm asking a serious question. Yeah, you're... Are you for real? I don't know.